Kamala Harris and Donald Trump represent two very different visions for America. Either way, it is going to be an historical victory. Let's say it's going to be the Democrats' candidate Kamala Harris who wins. Not only is it going to be the first female president of the United States of America, but also the second president with a non-European background. A candidate who has not been through any nomination process, and who had the throw in the towels back in 2019, before the nomination battle really began when she first tried to become president. A candidate that was nearly invisible as vice president that no one really had faith in. Even when it was speculated that Joe Biden would struggle to stand the race out, it was still not obvious that one would follow the heritage. People were talking about California's Governor Gavin Newsom or Minister of Transport Pete Buttigieg. So at the moment Biden resigned and pointed at Kamala, the discussion was gone overnight. The excitement exploded in the party. And her choice of vice presidential candidate, the almost completely unknown governor of Minnesota Tim Walz, became immediately popular. The two traveled on a signing tour around the swing states before they were crowned at the national meeting in Chicago in August, barely a month later. During her record-breaking election campaign, she caught Donald Trump's lead, crushed him in the only debate the two candidates had, and has avoided the big blunders. If she wins, it will be one of the most formidable victories in American electoral history ever. But let's say it will be Republican candidate Donald Trump, the 45th and 47th presidents of the United States. The first president since Grover Cleveland just over 130 years ago to regain office after losing it. A president who has survived 2 impeachment cases. The first ex-president to be trialed and convicted. A former real estate baron and TV star who, until 10 years ago, had no political experience at all, but who has managed to completely take over the Republican Party and rules it like a king. A man the vast majority wrote off after a mob that did not accept his election defeat 4 years ago stormed the Congress building. A candidate who has been at constant war with the media since he launched himself as a candidate. A man who has survived 2 assassination attempts during the election campaign, one just millimeters from killing him. Who stood up seconds later with blood on his face and a clenched fist. A guy who has had so many weird and bizarre antics and statements that just one of them would have sunk any normal candidate forever, without seeming to have weakened him at all. A man who still refuses to acknowledge the election defeat from the last time, and who believes that he has every right to persecute his enemies, including incumbent President Joe Biden if he becomes president again. If he wins, it will be one of the most formidable victories in American electoral history ever. And the loser? There will be no lower limit to all the mockery and contempt they will have to endure.